Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Chuck from Chuck and Ann's Adventures. Today we are going to be picking up Ian Vair, and we're going to go out and do some great mushroom foraging. We've had a really wet summer thus far. Ian has said the woods are just loaded with mushrooms, so we're really looking forward to going along with him and hopefully learning some really great tips, especially because Ann and I are brand new at this foraging thing and quite frankly a little bit scared. So let's get some expert guidance and have a great day.
Well, hi everybody. My name's Chef Ian, and we're hanging out here in a local park in Vermont, and we are looking for mushrooms. Looking for mushrooms, foraging. This is something that entered into my life about 20 years ago. I'm 45 now. And it's a hobby that has stuck with me. I was a fisherman as a young man, and I discovered the fungal kingdom along the way. My stepfather gave me a wonderful book, a National Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Mushrooms. And it was intriguing for this chef, culinary French trained. I didn't like mushrooms. Ugh. Nothing that I was interested at all. Not interested in at all. Nothing. Went through school, became a sous chef, became an exec chef, head chef, and then exec. Worked in a lot of different types of venues. And in my late 20s, I developed adult onset epilepsy, and I had to rearrange my life. So I decided to hone my skills and what the things that make me happy. And I learned more about mushrooms. And along the way, I actually met someone much like myself about 13 years ago. I was afraid of mushrooms as much as I thought they were cool, interesting. I needed someone like myself, not a mycologist, not a doctor, but a shroomer is what he called himself. Someone who enjoyed spending time with our mother nature in the forest and learning about the fungal kingdom. And he relieved some fears that I had about mushrooms. Wonderful. So, as we're thinking about going into the woods, let's all think about, the things that we need to bring with us. A little bug spray is a good idea. It's good to bring some water, okay? Highly recommend a field guide, and get your field guide of choice, but I'm going to promote them again because they've really enhanced my knowledge over the past 20 years. But the National Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Mushrooms. Okay, we're in North America. Makes sense. So, great book. Okay, another thing that I have, and many of them I do like to trim. I do like to cut from their connection to their mycelial mat, their mother. And I have whatever knife works for you. I have a sharp knife that I guess I could shave with if I needed to. It's good to have a pocket knife. All right? It's good to have a pocket knife. It's good to have a basket. A basket's good because spores can drop as you're walking. So you're sort of promoting, the growth of more mushrooms as more fungus as you're going. So just a couple little suggestions, my friends. We're going to start walking. So let's just get started. What do we think, guys?
Yes. Let's go.
So as I walk along the path, right along the path, as soon as I start, there are choice edible mushrooms. The Critteralis phalanx. The black trumpet. When you're new to this, it's not a good idea to gather a whole bunch of mushrooms and go eat them. Bad idea. Good idea to study like one or two at a time. Take your time. It's fun. It's exciting. You're like, look what I can do now. But you got to take it easy with our gut. Okay, go slow with it. I can do that now, right? But I've eaten hundreds of them. All right, let's check this out, guys. This is another edible mushroom called a jelly club, and they literally are quite gelatinous, quite abundant this year. They are edible. Sauteed in a pan, they're not choice. Okay, we could eat them. These are a type of cup mushroom. They look like a common brown cup. They're still a little young. It's hard to tell. There's several variants of this species in this genus. More mushrooms that we could eat. Examples. And more mushrooms up here. Now we got a few things going on up in here. Got a little guy that I'm not interested in. This. No. So we have some types of boletus here, and these are ones that I'm gonna leave. I don't believe that these are edible, but here's what's interesting about this type of mushroom, this genus, Boletice. They have sort of like signs, okay? There's tactic that you can use with these, that whether you have a book or not, say if you're lost in the woods and you don't have a mushroom book and you don't know what's going to hurt you or help you, these are neat. You know, we just talked about gills or not. So this has a completely different gill structure. Rather than having gills running down, they have what's more like pores, and actually when you break it open, they're tubes. They're layers of tubes that distribute their spores that way, okay? Now, how can we tell if we can eat it, all right? Well, they have what's called an amyloid response. It turns blue when you break it open, okay? Usually it turns blue immediately, and that's a good defining measure. Didn't turn blue. Some of them turn blue very slowly, and those are defining measures, and that's the kind of thing that you need a book to say, okay, it's supposed to turn blue slowly. So if you're out in the woods without a book, if it turns blue, just don't eat it, okay? Here's the other thing. Okay, it didn't turn blue. What's next? Make sure you're not biting into some bugs. Don't swallow. Horrible. Bitter. Okay, that's why not as many bugs are on these, to be honest with you. A lot of the big bitter boletes, you'll know instantly just by looking at them without tasting them or doing an amyloid test or anything. You know that they're bad. So I just wanted to use that as an example, okay? So we didn't turn blue, we nibbled, get that out of our mouth, all right? It might give you a little bellyache if you swallow it, not gonna kill you. But don't swallow it. Just a little taste. I am not tired. My breath was taken away by the quantity of black trumpets that we're finding. Wow. These are one of my favorites. And I love finding these with kids. Can't mess it up, guys. Let's go through a proper foraging technique here. Let's see, so I'm gonna pull my blade. Now, I read arguments on, do I pull the mushroom? Do I cut the mushroom? It's gonna mess up its relationship with its mom, you know, its mycelial mat. Mostly I cut the mushroom, to be honest. I don't know if it's better one way or the other. Can't tell you. But I mostly cut them. Now, there's a couple species that are lectarious that bleed a lot when I cut them, so I don't. But for the most part, I cut them. So let's go through this, okay? So we find one, there's more, okay? Now, we found about 100 of them here, so that's pretty cool. But there's more all around, all right? We're along a path. There's oaks around. So I like to get down. Let's get one that we can get a good view of here. Down close to the dirt here. All right, pretty low. You just cut them right off. Look. Nice and clean for when we get home, okay? We can wash these, but they get a little, you know, when they get wet, they get a little. I usually just brush them off. So one thing that's good about trimming them, beyond not disturbing their mycelial mat, they're clean. They're clean, okay? So we're gonna take a few of these so my friends can enjoy them at dinner tonight. Again, these are the black trumpet, Craterellus phalanx, scientifically. Okay, I'm gonna try to get as low as I can here. Nice. We got them. Okay, and the essence of these aren't very strong. Frequently when you get a basket of a type of mushroom, or they're in a bag maybe, you really catch the essence. And these do have a fruity essence to them. He's dripping latex on me. The texture of these is so lovely. I made a few the other night in a quinoa stir fry, and it was like well-cooked meat of some sort. It's delicious. Yep. These guys. Pretty cool. Got the latex coming out of them. Yum. So we've got a few good edibles today, and we were scoping out some of its cousins, some of these black trumpets, and then we bumped into the golden chanterelle. That's a nice one. Sure. Sending stalk, forked gills, mixed woods. They like oaks. They like pines also. Sometimes they just pop up. All right, quite nice. White in the middle. Almost white. And another defining factor. And another defining factor, they pull like string cheese. Look at that, pretty cool. That peach-like apricot-ish essence is present. For me, I can't mistake them. Once you learn this mushroom, you'll always know it. And this is one of the ones that wherever you are, you'll always be looking for it. So the golden chanterelle grows around the world, and everyone should know this mushroom, in my opinion. This was the first edible species that I ingested, as I already spoke about, and it's still my favorite. I'm gonna have to say that. It's still my favorite. So anyone who's learning, keep it up. Practice makes perfect. Slow and steady wins the race. Hi everybody, Chef Ian Vair. We had a nice day in the woods today, didn't we? So we spoke a lot about safety and tactic and edible mushrooms and even poisonous mushrooms. It was a lot of fun. It's not a game. It can appear as though it's a game at times, but it's not. Just remember that. I hope everyone enjoyed our experience today. I hope that my energy was able to ripple into your life, and I was able to inspire you a bit to possibly procure a National Audubon Society field guide to North American mushrooms, potentially to get into the woods and bathe in the forest and Mother Nature. That's what we're doing. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Just pick one out at a time. Go nice and slow. Okay, you're not going to learn as much as I know today immediately. It took me 20 years. Okay? One season at a time. Let's do it. If you are interested in what I'm talking about and what I'm working with and this niche that the world is so intrigued with, come and say hi to me. Come and talk to me. Contact me. Go to my website, greenmountainfungi.com. Come down to the Vermont Rutland Farmers Market on Saturdays in Rutland, Vermont from 9 to 2. Come see me. We've got a nice booth right in the middle. Okay? We've got good stuff. What I do is I take medicinal mushrooms and edible mushrooms and make them functional. Very important. Beyond finding the mushroom, how do I work with it? It's a big deal. Okay? So if you want to take a look at me and contact me, send me an email, check out my website, greenmountainfungi.com. Come to the Rutland, Vermont Farmers Market.